Hi, today is May 27th, 2023, and here are my poems for the day. The first one is poem number 862 for the year, The Silliest Thing. On the Little Italy Chinatown cusp, there is a place that rents space called Based Inn. I am not a member, but I've been invited to a couple of their parties, and I went to one last night. At the insistence of another, I posed for a picture with a likeness of Bob Ross and a squirrel. It didn't seem like the right thing to do at the time, but in retrospect, I'm glad I did it. I don't know if I am happy or sad to say that that was probably the silliest thing I did last night, but it was the silliest thing I did last night. Poem number 863, Being Engaged. Watching that obscure object of desire and being engaged, listening but not participating in the discussion afterwards and being engaged, getting into conversations about theater and performance and painting and making music and writing plays and poetry and being engaged, exchanging knowledge and biographical information and contact information and being engaged, biking from Chinatown to the West 70s after midnight and being engaged. The city is alive again. People are engaged like wild animals, uncaged and free. It feels so good, being engaged. Poem number 864, Feeling and Knowing. I've fallen for it before. The feeling of how can there be anything inside this old and hollowed out shell. The feeling of will I never again feel what it feels like to feel. The feeling of this is it, isn't it? Isn't this all there is? The feeling of feeling that all feelings are false. The feeling of not knowing which feelings are real. I have had trouble feeling, and I have fallen for false feelings before. But I feel as though I've gotten better at feeling and knowing what I feel. Now if only I could get better at feeling and knowing what you feel. Poem number 865, Among Other Things. It stretches and grasps and clasps and clings. It fights and fucks and flops and flings. It gives and takes and leaves and brings. It crawls and walks and dances and sings, among other things. Poem number 866, There is Love. There is pain and there is aging, limitations and imitations, oranges, lemons, lemmings, red herrings, MacGuffins and muffins and frogs and dogs and clogs, and wooden shoes and unpaid dues and don'ts and wills and won'ts and bills and ills and birth and death and life and breath and love. There is love. There is love. There is love. Poem number 867, Cycle. A drawing near and then a recoiling, a stillness, a simmer and then a boiling, a bubbling over, then down the drain, remorse and regret and sorrow and pain. And then there is a starting all over again. Last poem of the day, poem number 866, Almost Happy. I didn't know what you wanted. I only knew what I wanted to give, and wanting you to want what I wanted to give was selfish, and me not knowing what you wanted was myopic, and me not asking you what you wanted was regrettable, possibly reprehensible, and certainly not optimal. This is not about you or about him or about her. This is about me. It's about me. It's about me. And it's self-centered and self-pitying and selfish. But at least it's over now. At least I am almost ready to wish you well. At least I am happy and almost happy for you. Okay, that's it. Thank you. I appreciate you. I hope you have or are having and continue to have a lovely weekend. I appreciate you.